We're doing an auction, a live auction, ladies and gentlemen. And even if you're not bidding on anything, it's so worth it to watch the amazing pipes of Joe Bodnar. Give it up for Joe.
Welcome to Bodnars, Bids and Banter. I'm Joe Bodnar.
Maureen.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine.
Great. Hey,
2 episodes in a row.
Boy, talk about carrying it over.
Carrying it over? I'm carrying nothing over. The only thing I carried was this Christmas tree from the woods.
The woods?
It's
the Home Depot.
It's a real tree. I watered it today. No wonder it went all over the floor.
The cat's under there trying to eat your ornaments.
The cat cracked me up today. I come in for lunch and she's sitting over here and she just looks sick to her stomach. And I said, that's what you get because you've been walking around this house chewing on everything that's coming in the door and it's going to make you sick. Because that's all she did. That's all she did was chew on this, chew on that, chew on this, chew on that.
I had a memory that I probably shouldn't say out loud. When she ate string,
right?
And it came out, but they were like little beads.
Well, if you want to, I can reminisce from my time. So when I was a kid, when I was a kid, my Dalmatian, I had a dog. I had a Dalmatian.
I had a dog.
Yeah, I had a dog when I was real young. Maybe that's why I don't want a dog now.
What? He hates dogs.
I love dogs. I do hate dogs.
You do hate dogs. You hated the dog you had with your ex too.
Well, I love the dog, even though I told it I hated it. I had an internal battle with it. I used to say I hate you.
See, if we got a dog,
but no, I loved her. I'd walk her every night. I was in much better shape, I guess, for walking it every night. But I used to walk the dog every night. I had to pick up its crap off the ground with a baggie because of stupid new laws.
You had a freaking Dalmatian?
Well, I had a Dalmatian as a kid, yes. I had 2 Dalmatians, but I had a Dalmatian Dodger, and then we had Dodger 2. Dodger ate my marbles. And
that's where they went.
At any rate, yes, Dodger ate my marbles at my grandmother's house and then pooped them out. And my grandmother grabbed them from the poop and washed them and gave them back to me to play. That's my story of anal beads from an animal.
Yuck.
Yes.
Absolutely not. Do you know how mad I would be if I was playing a game of marbles with you and it came out that hey, you're shooting with shit marbles?
Exactly.
I'd walk out.
I don't think my father was too happy about it. I don't remember.
Probably not.
I'm not too happy about it, and it's just I'm hearing about it in the past.
I guess I grew up with dogs because my grandmother had a dog named JB. Joe Bodnar, I guess. JB. It's all about me. But JB, we have the JB dog, right? And it got that one got. I remember it had a growth, like it got a growth, and it was hanging there. I always used to kind of play with it as a kid. I don't know.
It's called testicles.
No, like a cancer growth.
Like probably. A cancer growth, but I don't know. But it was like
yeah.
Good going, Chris.
No, but in my mind, and I'm sure Chris is the same way. There's just so many layers to that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of layers.
So there was this growth, you know, and as he covers his head in shame over there. But anyway, it had a growth, and then I remember it died. Then I had a Dodger, and the dog slept with me every night, and I loved it. And then I had Dodger too, and then as he got older, he went to my grandmother because my father didn't want a dog anymore.
You've been so against us ever getting a dog.
I'm not against it. I think what my concern is when we go to Cape May, what are we doing with the dog? We would have to change our habits.
Joey comes over now.
Joey does come over now.
2026, I'm getting a dog.
This is looking into the future for a
kids.
dog. What will the cat do with a dog?
Who cares about the stupid cat?
But the cat's been good. She's been pooping in her box now for at least 3 weeks. Ever since our cat has a problem. She's beautiful, but she's a fuck, man. She's a mental. She's got mental. She has a problem. She has high anxiety, number one. But number two, we found her one night. night. We came home from an auction, and she's a long hair. Obviously, you've seen her on the show, and she got poop. She got poop stuck to her hair.
But so she dragged her butt all through the house.
And it was everywhere.
It was all over the floor.
So imagine working.
It's 8 a.m. We were working a 24-hour day. We came home to poop smeared all over the floor.
That. It was everywhere.
So it's all over
after 24 hours. So
I'd be like, it's your house now. I'd walk out.
So we had to clean her.
Up the floor.
I take her and I held her over the over the bathtub, and we're watering her down,
washing her butt,
and she's going. Screaming at us like, oh, you're killing her.
And I'm vacillating between trying to clean her off, because I'm sitting on the edge of the tub, and the toilet's right here, and I'm vacillating between trying to clean her off and almost throwing up.
Yes.
Because it's disgusting, and he's just hysterically laughing.
That
He's
was
crying.
funny as shit. I didn't think it was going to getting killed. Somebody would have called the cops. I was like, something's dying over there.
Oh my God! She was making the funniest noise. But ever since then, she's been afraid of her litter box.
She's afraid of her own litter box because it got stuck to her butt. So for 7 years now. God, right? 7 years, I think.
She goes off and on. She'll be good for a while.
She was like, she'll go in the box one day, and then
she'll go in front of the box the next day.
Front of the box, then on the rug, and then 5 days, and then we get mad, and then she was straight up, and she'd go in the box, and and then every time we go away, she goes and doesn't use the box. But about a month ago, we caught her in the act, and you picked her up while she was pooping. You snatched her while she was pooping, and the poop went everywhere, and threw her in the litter box, and I kind of snapped her out of it.
And I locked her in there.
Well, we did lock her in the litter box room. We don't want to say we locked her in the closet. It's the bathroom and the laundry room.
She's got plenty of room. Her food and water's in there.
Exactly.
She's got 2 rooms to roam around. She just ain't coming out.
And our vet said that was
torture.
Yeah.
The vet said actually it was perfectly fine. You know, it's better than putting something in a cage like a dog, and they put them in a cage. But anyway, yes. So the kitty cat is psychotic.
She's got friggin' issues.
Yeah, she's got issues.
So you heard it here first. I'm getting a dog in 2026.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, well, what will the cat say about this?
Who cares?
Maybe she'll like him. It'll be great Garfield and Odie.
I don't know where she went. She was back there.
It'll be Garfield and Odie.
Oh, there she is. Yeah, it will be Garfield and Odie.
Yes.
We rescued her from a house that had all kinds of dogs and cats and everything else. So.
But I want a husky though. If we get a dog,
you want the most talkative. Yeah, they talk a lot. Joe Bodnar wants a husky.
A husky. They're beautiful and hairy and
Have you
lovely.
ever lived with one?
No.
They talk a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
They talk back.
They talk.
In other words, so we'd have a dog sitting here with us talking.
Literally, dude. These dogs, like, you can have full conversations with them.
Yep.
Wow. I don't know, but
I want like a
dog becomes a little more responsibility though. Then we got to put up a fence, and then we got to make sure the dog is and doesn't get out and goes crazy and bites somebody.
I think personally,
so we get a golden retriever.
Golden retriever.
Oh my God, they're so freaking fluffy and sweet.
I don't know.
You just didn't like mine.
I just don't want a little dog.
Oh.
I don't like the little dogs.
No.
You don't want a dog that can get grabbed.
No, the little dog. Listen,
the hawks. We have big hawks on our property.
No, that's true. We do have hawks all over the place. But the little dogs. I've been in a lot of houses. Mm-hmm. The big dogs, they're babies. The little dogs is what you got to watch out for. They're little fuckers, man. They like to bite you. They like to bark at you.
You got bit recently, didn't you?
What? Yes. When?
Oh no, you cut yourself, and the dog kept coming at you.
Oh, it licked
That's
me.
What it was.
Yeah, no. I got cut in the house, and the dogs licked it. And when that was some crazy shit. I was at a house and I broke a curio cabinet in the truck and it cut me. It actually
the shelf came down. The glass.
Shelf down and cut me. It might be this cut that's still here. I think I just got this in the garage the other day. But anyway, I was bleeding. I came in. That dog sniffed it out so quick. Like it was on the other side of the room. It was a bloodhound.
It was a bloodhound.
That dog all of a sudden perked up, boop, 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 came right over to me, and then started licking it and kept 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 licking it. I'm like, dude, stop. It wouldn't stop licking me. But and then it got infected, right? Or you were afraid it was getting infected? It was
swollen.
It was swollen. That's right. It was swollen.
But anyway.
Yes. So there's a downside to a dog. It's
of course
going,
there is.
It's
There's
going
always
to get me infected, and I'm going to die.
Don't be dramatic. It's been a dramatic year. Don't be dramatic.
Dramatic? I'm not dramatic. I'm just telling you what could happen. You know, the dog. I don't know. So yeah, I had a dog as a kid. Dodger was great. JB. I know you had a bunch of dogs too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, but they're responsibility, man.
Yeah,
they're quite, and they have a dog smell. They smell like dog. Cats don't smell. Dogs have a smell. Don't you think?
Nah, our cat smells.
I don't smell her.
Well, that's because you don't get close enough to her. She gets right in my face.
Well, she gets close to me. Mm. She tries to get close to me.
Anyway.
Ooh. But at any rate, yes.
What a year.
What a year. I think it has been a good year. It's had its ups and downs. You know, we went all the way from, I don't even remember. It's been such a year. I guess we started off with coins, right? At the beginning. No, a jewelry sale. We had a big jewelry sale.
We had a big jewelry sale in the beginning of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
And we just had a jewelry sale.
Did pretty good.
I was going to say, the last jewelry sale went tremendous. We had 3 jewelry sales throughout the course of the year. All 3 were tremendous. All the gold was stupid prices. The silver's been stupid
gold
prices.
Is stupid prices. It's been an up and down year, you know, as far as the auction.
I think the auction's been an up and down year. I think when you look at prices across the board, what I see is that the high end stuff is still bringing good, decent money. Yeah. And the mediocre and the low end stuff is kind of hit or miss right now. I think a lot of people are not selling their big collections off right this second, which is affecting the market in certain aspects. But I think what you're seeing is that divide in the classes. You're seeing I hate to say the rich are getting richer and the middle class and the poor are getting poorer, but
they are.
You do see that, and you see that within the auction profession and the reselling profession, because just this past week, my God, I could think of 6 stories I just saw. One, a gold toilet sold for $12 million, which it was an 18. It was a 24 karat gold toilet, working toilet. They called it a work of art.
But all right. Isn't the higher the carat, the softer the...
No, it would be harder. Yeah, a solid gold is solid. It's not like 10 karat. 10 karat and 5 karat is when they start to bend. Gold filled, you might be thinking of, because gold filled would be what would have gold in it. It would be like mixed metals and stuff, and that's where it gets really soft. But you know what? At $12 million, here's what's crazy. In my opinion, it was a buy, because when you figured out the melt on it was $12,600,000 or something like that. It brought $12 million plus the buyer's premium, so it was an extra probably 22% could have sold at Christie's, or 26%. But
Christie's has resorted to selling toilets, huh?
But they considered it a work of art. It's a work of art. It's the same thing as the banana that was on the wall, you know, or the same kind of concept. But technically,
doesn't do it for me.
Can you imagine taking a shit on a $12 million toilet? I can't. That's a lot of money, man. A lot of money for a toilet. I mean, think about how much gold is actually worth when you think about that. The size of a toilet is $12 million. I mean, that's crazy when you think about it. You know, that means...
Who thought that up?
I don't know. I think that's crazy.
These things up?
I don't know. That I don't know. But that just sold. And like I said, it brought a little bit over spot. So if gold keeps going up, and the amount of gold that's in it, if gold goes up by $100, it's going to jump. That toilet is going to jump by $100,000 like that. You know, if it goes up by $100, that's crazy. For sure. But there was a Kemitz painting that just sold for a record $264 million.
Klimt,
right?
Klimt.
$264 million, right? That's what I said the other day.
Who has $264 million for one piece of art?
$264 million for one piece of art, man. That's crazy. Actually sold. That's nuts. And then I just saw something else. I was just scrolling before we came on, and I was like, wow, another record just hit today. But art is just smoking right now, like crazy.
You also just said the most ridiculous thing that if any other rational person heard it outside of normal speak, they'd be like, what are you talking about? The toilet just sold for $12 million. Like, just say that. Just saying that.
No, it doesn't make sense.
It's crazy, right? It's total crazy. But there again, the rich have money. You know, the rich are trading merchandise. You know what I think it is?
The rich are buying toilets.
They're buying toilets, yeah.
The rest of us
I mean, seriously.
just trying to keep the lights on.
With the dollar being what it is, this and that multimillionaires and billionaires are looking to trade in certain different things, which is so funny. You know, as I'm sure maybe you don't know, I am the president of the State Society of Auctioneers. You're the secretary treasurer, and we are currently working with a senator,
Andy
Kim, because there is a new law that they were putting out there for money laundering.
The Art Market Integrity Act.
The Art Market Integrity Act is out there, which came.
S-2400.
It was brought to our attention. About 6 months. I actually brought to your attention because someone posted something.
Yeah, I saw it on the auctioneers.
Yeah, it was on the auctioneers page.
On the auctioneers
so
page.
At any rate, we got involved. So we're actually spear hunting this. Is that what they would call it, or
spearheading?
Spear hunting.
I don't know called spearheading. We had a meeting with Andy Kim's office,
right.
Not Andy Kim. And we raised our concerns and we asked for an exemption for small business or. The way it works right now is it's if an auction house sells more than $50,000 in art a year,
this is what they're proposing.
You now have to be AML, anti-money laundering compliant, the same as banks. The way that the banks are regulated. And that's a lot of cost. It's a lot of time.
And what they're requiring then is that we would literally have to background check every buyer that comes to the auction to participate at the auction and background check you.
So we had a conversation with them and just told them what that looks like for small business.
Correct.
You know, that it's just not really feasible. And I understand what they're trying to do.
They're trying to eliminate the $12 million
That's right.
toilet
they're
seat.
trying to figure out who's buying the gold toilet. And there's a few issues with it. One, art is not defined well.
Right.
Two, we're not Christie's selling a $12 million gold toilet or a Klimt painting or anything of that nature.
Right.
Where people are going to try to launder their money through these purchases. You know, we're what would be called and I heard someone call us this, a boutique auction.
Right, boutique auction.
A boutique auction where we've got, 8 employees, if you don't count us.
Right.
You know, esque. And it just doesn't make sense for someone like us. So we either ask for an exemption for small business or more of a transactional basis.
I think what we're saying, listen, you know, no offense to the government, but anytime the government gets involved with things, they mean good, but they take things to its extreme. Like it doesn't make any sense. It would hurt us. It would hurt the buyers. It would hurt the sellers. It would hurt us as an auction company. And there's already things that are in play.
Right.
Listen, if
we
you're
already
going
vet our bidders.
We're no different from a bank in the sense that if you come to our auction, you spend $10,000 or let's say you spend $20,000 and you paid us in cash. Well, we have to submit. We have to submit paperwork to the government that you paid us in cash. That's a part of
and if you spend
part of the situation.
If you spend over $3,000 with me and I don't know who you are, you're sending me a bank wire transfer.
Exactly.
And that's going from bank to bank, which is being vetted.
Exactly. That's all vetted already. So I don't understand the point of, you know, if all this money is being transferred through banks and everything else, why do they need to know this other information? It's ridiculous.
And I don't love speculation, but here's what I think they're looking at. They're looking at Heritage, Christie's, I don't know, whatever else
auction
out there.
Houses that are generating $100 million in sales or above.
Not even just that. They're looking at those particular auction houses who play the reserve game.
Right.
That things don't really sell. And now they have it listed on their website at a buy it now price or make an offer.
Right.
a real, I don't want to call them not auctions, but a real auction. There is no buy it now. Someone just emailed me the other day, what's the buy it now price for this? I said,
Right.
there is no buy it now because ethically, once I take something for auction, it must go through said auction.
Right, and I think there's differences. So you have reserve auctions and unreserved
Right.
auctions, and we are strictly an unreserved
But so what I
auction.
think they're looking at is those things after the fact that are more of a private sale,
Right.
which is why they're lumping auction houses in. But what we're trying to explain to them is they're the exception to the rule. Go after them.
Right.
Don't paint with a broad stroke. Be specific to those companies who are doing private transactions. We are not doing private transactions. Everything is public knowledge. It is out there to the public.
Right.
Every person's vetted. Everything's coming through credit card. We don't do cash unless you come pick it up. And like you said, it's over $10,000. We still have to report it anyway. So we'll see where it goes.
Well, we'll see where it goes.
We'll
It just
see
makes
where
no
it
sense. I
goes.
mean, listen, I get it. Well, even when we were in person sale, I think the most we ever took in cash was $130,000 in a night, and I used to do nighttime bank drops and stuff like that. But the reality is that even if you paid that much cash, we're supposed to report it on our end. There's already things in play for
Right.
that.
You just said the craziest sentence of words ever.
Right.
It was only $130,000 in cash.
Yes.
Wishful thinking.
I could dance in money like that.
It would be nice. Listen, I love counting cash. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. Even before I was in the auction
Yeah, I
business,
hit the button.
We hit the button there.
I was like, what the fuck do I hear?
It's on the Christmas
Everything
tree.
has buttons over here. You like put the girl next to the shiny object. Ooh, hit the buttons.
I love counting cash. When I worked for Mayfair Food Town back in the day, before I was an auctioneer, I guess while I was an auctioneer, I used to work when I was a night manager or lockup manager. I would have to count cash all the time. I would have to, every time, you couldn't allow $10,000 of cash to get into the grocery store. The grocery store probably don't even take that cash anymore anyway.
Yeah.
But back then, on a Sunday, we would do $150,000 in sales on a Sunday, and every hour, sometimes every 45 minutes, we were wrapping $10,000-15,000 in cash, and I'd have to sign in and drop it in a safe. So I got used to counting cash like that. It was great.
No, but we'll see where that goes. But you can add that to my that wasn't on my 2025 bingo card.
No, it wasn't, and you facilitated a lot with that, and I appreciate that.
Oh, I fought with their office to get a meeting, and I just kept coming. I calling, going at them.
Because this is how politics are.
It's also just telling that they were just like, hey, let's put this law into effect, or let's try and get it on the docket without even considering what
It
that
happens
could
all
mean.
the time.
Every law that comes down the line.
No, I know, but it's just maddening, especially when you're in the middle of it.
Well, here's what gives me hope, and I'm not trying to get political here, and people out there may not agree with me, but right now it's in the Committee of Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs, and the senior ranking member of that committee is Elizabeth Warren, who I know, again, politics aside, I have followed a lot of what she's done, and really caring about your average person and small business and things of that nature is something that is on the top of her priority list. So that makes me feel a little bit better about that. Plus, hey, if they could have a meeting on it, I would gladly come and represent the auctions and get to meet her. Just saying, not getting political.
But,
Gee, I wonder where.
Yeah, but the problem is that everybody wants to make laws. They shouldn't do anything. Make no laws. That's my opinion. They should revoke all the laws
You need
except
laws.
for do not kill.
Okay, how did we get into this? We're an auction podcast. Why are we
Because we're
talking
in
about
auction
laws?
policy. But I'm just saying the government has
As someone
issues.
of the darker complexion, we need laws.
Yeah, you need laws.
We need laws, Joe.
I understand his point that there's a lot of time is spent on laws that aren't necessarily useful.
Exactly.
Like the seatbelt law. I can understand you have to buckle your kids in. You have to,
Right.
this and that.
But you gonna give me a
But
ticket,
if
a
I
grown
want to
30-year-old man?
drive in my own car by myself, and if I crash, I want to go through the windshield, that is my prerogative.
I agree.
You
I wear
know?
my seatbelt all the time, but I disagree with them.
And for
giving a
that
ticket.
matter, drugs.
Right.
prostitution.
Yes, I agree. It should all be legal.
America's oldest profession.
It should all be legal. I don't disagree
understand.
with any of that.
Again, regulate it, make sure people are safe. But drugs, you can't police people's morality.
No.
You can't police, and I'm not saying it's immoral to do drugs. I'm just saying it's a personal choice of what you decide to ingest in your body. You know, like, okay, it's legal now, but when you and I were growing up, marijuana was illegal. Now that it's legal, I would just like to say to the Deal Police Department, I would like my money back.
You know what? That's
I would
crazy
like
that
my
you
money
bring that
back.
up because like that was one of the big things. Like when weed became legal, was like, oh, are all these records expunged? And like, just a whole bunch of lawmakers were just throwing up their hands. Like,
I paid to have my record expunged years ago. I did because I didn't need it following me around anymore. But you know, marijuana was illegal. But
now it's nothing. It's like carrying cigarettes.
But all of these carcinogens,
which it should be.
All of these carcinogens that big companies put into our food is totally legal.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
don't disagree. But now look at the stupid new bill that went in. They're trying to eliminate seeds in marijuana and try to make it all illegal again. That's what they're trying to do.
Whatever.
I know, it's crazy. What's
find
the
a
big
hobby.
fight over marijuana? That's so ridiculous. It's the Native American Indian grass.
I can tell you the backstory, but it'd be too long.
Nah, I agree.
So
I know
anyway,
the
history.
Yes,
it's crazy.
So in 2026, no laws. Let's get rid of the politics.
Claws.
Hopefully, we'll get rid of the politics because the politics are stupid. But
that's crazy.
But yes, this past year, back to
year in review.
The
Let's
year in
review our
review. The
review.
jury did absolutely fantastic.
It did.
And I think that was fantastic. Artwork actually did good this past year, in my opinion, too.
Done with Brooklyn.
And we're done with Brooklyn. That's the ending of Brooklyn this year.
Brooklyn's over.
Which is a fantastic thing.
Yes.
You know? So all the things that were in Brooklyn are gone. That's a feat in itself.
That is a feat in itself. Yep, I got no words.
No, but that was a feat in itself. But I think coming in 2026, what I see is just continuing on with great collections and doing our best for people.
I see 2026 honing in on social media.
Yes.
And on, fine tuning things.
I think it's tough too. We're definitely higher in the business on commission, but I have to remind everybody the service that we give is so much better than any other auction company that's out there. Even these big shots like Sotheby's, Christie's, Heritage. We talk about Heritage, for instance. They don't care. Once they have your merchandise, they don't really care. They all they care about is how many millions of dollars can they sell in a year because they're going to get a bonus. It's about bottom line. Where with us, we bring service to it and we really treat everybody and every collection with the respect that it deserves.
Well, and I think it comes down to preference.
Right.
Do you want to live in Manhattan or do you want to live in a small community?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's a preference thing. There are people who are like, absolutely not. I want to live in Manhattan.
Right.
Good for you,
More power to you.
More power to you. We are a small community. You are going to get just, working on the coins.
Right.
Working on those coins.
Yeah, when I left you today, you were on lot 5.
I'm on lot 20-something now.
Of how many?
No, we don't want to talk about it. But I'm in the ancient Roman, Greek, going into medieval.
She was so happy. She was holding a coin that Henry II.
Henry VIII. I was singing a song. I'm
Henry
Henry VIII. I am Henry VIII. I am.
Then Janet goes, well, maybe Henry VIII paid a prostitute with this
so
coin.
you didn't have to pay
I
prostitutes.
said, you didn't have to pay for a prostitute. You have it for free. Because you know
and
why?
Countless other concubines, if you will.
It's good to be the king. Remember that. It's good to be the king. That's from Mel Brooks. It's good to be the king. I'm not a king. I'm a spoiled little boy.
You're a spoiled little boy. Again, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here.
At any rate.
No, but
my new ringtone.
The person who consigned them,
yes,
went through them,
yes,
made up notes.
Yes,
they were 90% of the way there. They they weren't 100% of the way there. I had to go through every coin all over again, and they were like, oh, this is, Constantine the First, da, 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 da. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, no, this is Constus. You're close, but you're not quite there. And I can't describe it incorrectly because that's not what we do. So instead of just saying, oh, well, they did the work for me, to hell with it, I don't care. Nope. I spent, 4 days going through every single coin all over again.
Yep.
Before I even started cataloging it, because things aren't 100, or there's things that I know that they don't know. And I don't know everything about coins, but I know what to look for and know how to look them up.
Right.
But it's time consuming.
Yeah, we did a nice little video about it.
We did. It's
that's right.
incredibly time consuming.
Right.
Doing that. But the point is, even though the consignor handed it over and said, here, it's ready to go, I'm like, let's make sure.
No, I don't think people understand how much.
Make sure that it's 100,000% what it is. And they had coins lumped in with groups that I'm like, no.
And not even that.
That needs to go by itself,
you can say AI is helpful, which it is, but AI isn't the almighty God.
Especially not with these ancient
Google
coins.
Lens and things like that. You can use it, but
you can't.
does not.
Anybody
work on
out there
that
who's
stuff.
ever tried to Google Lens an ancient Greek or Roman coin,
It isn't going to work.
It works 1 out of 175 times.
I believe
and that's
that.
with a clear coin where you can see exactly what it is.
Right.
No, you have to know what you're looking for. You have to know where to go to find, all the varieties and everything, and mint marks and the whole nine, because they had mint marks back then.
Right.
Who would have thunk it? But yeah, so I'm finally been working on that.
Lot 27.
Something like that.
It's
moving now, though. It's moving now.
Right.
Now I've
No, that's good.
I started a rhythm.
No, I was laughing because when I went to leave today and I was curious what lot number you're on.
Lot number 5.
I saw 5 and I thought I was wrong. I was like, something's wrong. And you were like, no, you're on lot 5. Whoa.
Well, because then I got into all the medieval coins and I said, oh, well, they're single coins. That it must be right. The description that's written here must be right.
You know what's funny is you would think that like a lot of these coins, they're like, what are they, 1,000 years old, 2,000 years old? I mean, they are. Some of them are that old.
More.
They're not worth that much money.
No, they're not.
They're really not, man. They're really not. They are there.
That's so funny. I just read a story on Reddit. Somebody had taken a 4,000-year-old coin from a museum and never, when they were a kid, and never got caught. But then people in Reddit were going like, yeah, there's so many of these coins in existence that they have some that are expendable.
Yeah.
Right.
So you may have a 4,000-year-old coin that's worth $2.
Yeah, no,
well, that's it. They're not all. I mean, and there's ones in this sale that are worth some serious money.
Right.
There are. They're not graded, which it's a whole lot easier after they've been graded, and then you could just read off the top, and
right.
Those are the kinds of ancient coins I like. But there are some very nice coins, and I will say this: the collector had some that are worn, like I'm sure that everybody does, but he has some that are in, considering the age, like AU. They're
almost
fantastic.
uncirculated as
Yeah.
AU.
Yeah, they're just fantastic. So, coins to go with your banks.
There you go. That's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, banks.
With my banks? Oh my God.
Coins to go with your banks.
Yeah, no, we sorted banks and we're just probably almost there. I'm going to finish them up today, but the bank collection is just ridiculous.
Oh, it was a collection, man.
But what was crazy is, all the banks had a little bit of change in them. The amount of change we had a
competition.
We had
back.
a competition.
It's in that box when you first walk in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How much money do you think was in there? I'm just curious what you think. You're gonna be shocked. So it was like
so you missed it. We had a little competition.
1 foot by 1 foot by 6
4
inches. Yeah, 4 inches. Like a fishbowl almost, like a little fish.
Fill the quarters.
Quarters.
Yeah, there was quarters in there.
So we had a competition.
Let's say $45.
No, we had a competition to see Who could get the closest
Closest
without
going over, yes.
Of course, it was Erica.
Erica won that
won.
competition, yes.
But there was $941.
Yeah, $941 in that
quarters.
bank. Yeah, that's how many quarters we found in all the banks that we cleared out. Because I kept emptying them out. And that's how much money was in the banks that we're selling. Crazy, right? Total crazy. This is why arcades make money. I guess this is why arcades make money. Laundromats make money. A quarter goes a long way, I guess. But yes, on the bank collection, there's got to be 1,000+ banks.
Yeah, easily.
Mostly, and a lot of it's novelty. A lot of it is there's a lot of cast iron. There's some mostly from the 1970s, 1980s. And like I was, that's basically considered a reproduction, but now it's like a vintage reproduction because we're talking about 50 years ago. So
and that's the interesting thing is that these older reproductions are now starting to
do something. Yeah, because it's not like you can go to a catalog anymore and order them one at right now. I mean, back at 15, 20 years ago, Ralphie used to sell that stuff, and AAA imports used to sell that kind of stuff. You could buy them for $5 a piece, $6 a piece. They were cheap. That was one thing. You could buy still banks all day from the repro places for $3 to $5 a piece.
I have a
$6 a
skeleton
piece.
one that goes.
Yeah, Ralphie used to get that one. Yeah,
that's where it came from.
Yeah, it came from Ralphie. But yeah,
was it the Book of Knowledge?
Not a book of knowledge, but a book of knowledge was more like in the 1980s. They started reproducing. So you have ones that are made in China. Then you have ones that are repopped that they got permission to reproduce them, and they became companies and had the copyrights on them and reproduce them. And those actually they made a nicer reproduction. It's not like just made in China and slopped together and like junk. This is actually decent stuff.
Yeah, they're nicer reproductions.
So I would say it's going to be quite interesting to see where some of these run because, they're all over the gamut on eBay. But the reality is, I was thinking about it. You just don't see them come up for sale anymore. And it's not like you can go to a store and buy them wholesale anymore either. So
no, but there's so much pop culture.
They're cool.
In some, with these banks.
Yeah, the Titanic, you have Popeye.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about even the newer ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the cast, besides the cast iron ones, which there's probably about 250, 300 of the cast iron ones. Then you have new banks that are pop culture that are made they're in the 90s, 2000s, 2010. Mm-hmm. You have Mickey Mouse. You have a whole bunch that are like cranes from an arcade and like candy gumball machine. You know what's cool? So this guy, we did, this ties into the year in review. We picked this up in June, right?
Yeah.
It was right. June, you were there. Yeah.
It was my first pickup with you.
It was your first pickup where you came and actually saw us in action.
Yeah.
And it was
I
a
got good
hoard.
footage.
Yeah, it was a hoard too, right?
Oh my God, was it?
It was.
It was a hoard.
It sure was.
So we picked this up in June, and now we're in full circle, 6 months. And this is what I always tell customers, it's about 6 months before we get it sold. We're right on target here. This will be in our first sale in January. But I forget where I was going with that. But there was just great banks.
Oh, just pop culture. I love the miniature, like the Gravitron and the bumper cars.
Oh, that's where I was going. Oh. He owned an arcade.
Yeah.
So imagine a guy who owned an arcade. He owned an arcade in Seaside Heights, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I think he had two arcades in Seaside Heights. And now, if you think about it, it makes sense of the collection because we have jukeboxes, we have tons of gumball machines, we have. I sorted today. There was a bunch of tickets from all different. He collected tickets from all kinds of carnivals and different arcades and things of that nature. Not just his arcade. It was like all different. He has some awards in there that came from Atari. There was a in Lucite like a plaque from Atari, and it had an asteroids like looks like a prototype chip that probably went into the machine. I thought that was kind of interesting. Things that you just don't see. You have to own an arcade to see. He has like the suitcase that had these electronics in it. I figured it out. Basically, he would take this suitcase, I guess, and plug it in, and you would get the sound off a soundboard for an arcade machine. That's what it was. So I'm not sure exactly what he would. I guess he was using it as a tester or something like that. It's
no,
something.
there's a lot of neat stuff in there.
There is a lot of neat stuff, and like you said, pop culturalist.
Pop culture,
and that's going to be like in two shots. I mean, obviously we were selling banks first, and then there's some other toys mixed into that. But then we also have our second part of that sale is in the end of January, where we'll have the gumball machines. I just ran out of room. There were so many banks that we couldn't fit it all.
The penny weight scale thing.
Yeah, the pennyweight scale thing.
It was
And
a
everything.
huge little warehouse of like just coins.
Yes.
Little banks and stuff.
It was
It was crazy.
Yeah, he
Wall to
had the
wall.
house. His house was cool too. I liked his house. I thought it was a nice setup. The whole house was great because he had a house, he had like gardens, and then he had another garage with a house on top where somebody rented. And
One of my favorite
this and
clips that I got from that day is you walking into
It's
the back.
so
It's so pretty. Yeah.
it was nice.
It was very nice.
I lived there. It was a
Had
nice house.
little nooks to hide in, with the way they had it landscaped. But no, it was floor to ceiling, wall to wall.
You know what's crazy?
Displayed banks and pop culture.
My understanding is he went through a divorce about 6 years ago. So that collection came from someplace else, and he refitted that home, and he hoarded it that way in 6 years. Think about that.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
I guess not. I mean,
Divorce is a hell of a motivator.
Look at how much stuff you've collected.
I guess I do have quite a bit. I'm not a hoarder, though.
You are a hoarder.
Yeah, I'll be.
First
You
step
heard it.
towards
I'm
recovery
a
is admitting the
spoiled
problem.
hoarder.
You hear him? He's a spoiled
I'm a
hoarder.
sp-
Just
Spoiled
getting
hoarder.
through things today.
Yes.
Phil.
Therapy.
Yes,
Let's Bodnar's bids and therapy.
I feel much better about my life right now. Thank you.
Good. That's so good.
But yeah, no. So that's going to start off the year,
Yeah, January 7th and 8th.
January 7th and 8th,
Banks and then
no,
coins.
whenever-
And
I
coins
in the
run-
20s.
Run the whole gamut, man, from ancient Greece, ancient Rome, all the way up to new commemoratives. I'd say some of those Canadian commemoratives are gorgeous. They're sterling silver.
Right.
They are just gorgeous. They've like painted them, and some of them there's actually they're like not 3D where like like a hologram, but like
Right.
there'll be like a butterfly or like a bug commemorative for different things, and the wings actually come up off the coin, and there's
That's cool.
really neat stuff, man.
I hate to even tell you, there's a tub of coins still from this lot.
You're not funny.
There really is. I found it today.
I'm not even counting coins, and I didn't find that funny.
Yeah, no, there's
I was like, "What do you mean?"
there's a tub of silver commemoratives or something. They're hand painted like that. I found them today. I went, oh boy, lot 47. Not much. You'll have 3 more lots added to your sale, maybe 5. You know what he does have though?
From what, the coin house?
No,
Or
from the bank house.
oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah, from the
house?
bank house. There was actual silver coins I found today, like $50 that are painted in commemoratives, like Bradford
footage of
Exchange
that
and
too.
things of that.
They were in the basement of the main house, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're screwed.
Hey, those coins
My
are cool
sale
too.
is set up and done.
I put it at the end. It's fine. But they have, all those tokens too from like arcades and stuff. There's thousands of them. Absolutely thousands. I wonder. He told me he cashed in a lot of coins. I can't imagine how many coins they cashed in. It had to be something sick. He had a coin counter in the basement where they were counting them. I mean, crazy. But I guess if you own an arcade, you have lots of coinage.
You sure do.
Because you know what it is too. A lot of these newer arcades that open, they're all like
They're card.
digital. They're card.
Yeah.
It's so boring. I remember there was a period of time where I didn't go to Chuck E. Cheese for years, but I had a cousin who had a birthday party, and I just was like, in the junk drawer, there was just a bunch of Chuck E. Cheese tokens.
Right.
And you would think, oh, go in,
Can't
gonna go
use 'em.
play, and they're like, this is we don't even use this currency anymore. I was
Right.
like, excuse me?
No, it's all card.
I don't know.
So dumb.
That transitioned when Matt was little.
Yeah, that
Because
transition.
I used to take him.
happened then.
I used to take Matt to Chuck E. Cheese anytime they'd go watch a movie that was too old for Matt to go to when he was like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and I used to take them over to Chuck E. Cheese. And at first, it was coin. There was those little tokens, and at some point it transitioned.
I don't know which
over.
one's better. You think about it, you spend more money as a card versus having the coins. You definitely,
I think the coins are better only just because I liked the tangible.
Well, it's nostalgia
award.
for you.
Yeah, nostalgia. My favorite thing though with Chuck E. Cheese was not necessarily the coins. It was the ticket eater.
Yeah.
And you would feed what big prize are you saving for?
Yeah.
Like I loved that. And
Yep.
we would stack those.
Yes.
We would my dad, our routine was he would literally pick a stack of records
right,
and bring us to Chuck E. Cheese so that he could listen to the records for 4 hours.
Right.
While we just fucked around and played. So we would just stack these tickets.
right.
And it was always so fun to come back and be like, we're gonna get the RC truck. That's like
the
30,000
big
tickets. We were that crazy.
We're that crazy in Cape May. We have the cards when we go to the arcade, and I don't know how many we take. We have
40,000 points.
65,000.
Something like that on there. It's ridiculous.
I got 65,000 points. That's
They got to get better prizes.
2 years of accumulation.
There's no good prizes.
I think at the most we had 100 and some thousand points between the three of us.
I keep giving mine away to little kids.
crap.
Every
It's like you can
when
get
we
a lot
take
of
them for the week,
basketballs.
Matt wants to go all the time, so we give him a spending limit every day. This is what when you're out, you're out.
You could drop money in the arcade.
And we'll play.
I drop money
I'll
in
put
the
like
arcade.
$10, $20 on my thing, and play for the. And then at the end of the week, some kids over there and they scan the card and they're like, "Oh, you have 100 points." I'm like, "Here, kid." And I walk
No,
away.
that's fun though.
Yeah, I'm like,
It
"Here."
is fun.
light up.
I love. So when we go to Cape May, I'll play the Flintstones game, and I love the Flintstones game where
The coin pusher
the
game.
coin pusher game.
Yeah, I know the game.
And
I like
don't
the
know.
Willy Wonka one.
I love it. I've won so many bonuses on that. It's better.
Yep.
It's better than Atlantic City.
I've lost so much money on the Willy Wonka one. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they have one in Keensburg.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Willy Wonka.
But they're fun. I
It
enjoy
is fun.
Better than
It is
Atlantic
fun.
City. We were in Atlantic City just this past weekend.
That's your perspective, not mine.
I had a better perspective.
I was fine. I was up
didn't
at
do
one
good.
point.
I didn't do good.
Okay, only came down a little bit, but I had a great time.
The best thing for me to do is lose, so I don't go back. That's where my concept is when it comes to that.
But we've
Maybe that's why my dad brought us to Chuck E. Cheese. Not so that he could listen to records, so that he could prepare us for the casinos.
Exactly.
Let's be real. Chuck E.
It's the
Cheese is just a
same
little
thing.
mini gambling hall.
it's all these arcades are.
Right.
But it's been an up and down year. We've won some, we've lost some.
Yes.
We've
I think the biggest thing this past year, though, it really was the unpaids and really dealing with.
we
the
did
unpaids.
have a lot of
unpaid
bidders.
invoices, people bidding without paying. That was a very trying situation.
I've worked really hard to crack down on that.
We've done a full year of podcasts.
This is our first full year podcast.
full year.
It will be
podcast.
in December, yeah.
Yeah, committed. We were committed. We had episode every other week. I mean,
Then,
that's pretty commitment.
For the
man.
most part.
Yeah, no.
It was
every
only
other
once.
week. What happened?
I think it was once where we.
No,
No?
we did not miss. And every other week we've done an episode.
Interesting.
This is that's the key. Yeah, it's been a heck of a run.
It has been. We've gained some people. We've lost some people.
Yes, we have.
We've had some crazy opinions from
We've
people.
had some crazy opinions
Yes, we
from
had
people.
some crazy opinions from people.
People don't like when you tell them you can't take your stuff with you. You
Shirts
can't.
coming soon.
You can't.
No, but no, I think I can't wait for 2026 to see what comes in the door. The hunt is on.
2026 is our year. It's going to be a
Facts.
good year.
Yes. Every day is Christmas. That's how I always like. That's how I live my life. You know that. Every day is Christmas.
Yes. This year took that out of me a little bit, but yes.
Every day is
This year was a
Christmas.
bit. I think it is running every other week
was rough.
was rough. and the first quarter of the year kind of blew up on me a little bit in my personal life.
Right.
With family and whatnot, and it was just hard to get back on track.
Right.
For the rest of the year, and things just didn't seem to be going this way. They seemed to be kind of,
Especially when it's stacked one thing after another.
It was.
That just means you're doing something right in your life.
Well, I'm not. No, I'm
Because
not.
that is the devil coming after you.
Well,
that's my true belief on that.
I don't
really
know,
do.
though.
I do believe that. I truly believe the more obstacles you are having,
yes, but
that just means you are on the right path, and the devil is just trying to knock you down.
Yes, but the things I'm referring to are not like we lost Emil in the beginning of the year.
Right.
No.
It's the devil. Well, the devil took him. I don't know. But I'm just saying.
My sister,
I understand, but
going into a coma, and all that.
It's that song. I get knocked down, then I get knocked down,
Yeah.
and I get knocked down.
Yeah. Well, it was a lot of that I was like, come on.
Right. But there again, that these are all strifes that are trying to get you down, and you can't. You have to stay positive all the way.
What's weird is like I totally get and have experienced your perspective. That year for me was 2016. We lost my grandfather, my dog, and then my dad. All in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
And just the hits kept on coming with that year.
Right.
And then I think that was also the year my grandmother got diagnosed with dementia. It just, I get those years. But then simultaneously, I do understand it's just trials, man. It's gonna be. There's brighter days ahead.
I think,
I think that there is something to that because, as somebody who this year was a lot of pre-production for my movie that you guys helped with. Thank you very much. A lot of things went wrong in the planning stage so that the filming could go so great.
Right.
I'm only just saying that from my perspective. I'm not trying to knock what you went through, Maureen.
No. There's always better times ahead. There's always better times ahead.
Yeah. But I think it's healthy to acknowledge when you get knocked down a couple points.
I think 2026 is my year of slimming things down. Cutting off some things.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slim myself down.
I don't mean physically. I mean, the amount of things that I've taken on this year. It's a lot. Work. The kids, we had every weekend was marching band for the longest time.
Right.
Secretary Treasurer of the NJSSA. Now they talked to me yesterday at church about being Secretary of the Session.
Right.
At church, and just all these things that are happening. It's time to cut the crap that doesn't matter.
I guess I have to hire you an assistant. That's what it comes down to.
I'm just
I
saying.
didn't hear any objections from Maureen.
Simone, I'm just saying. I've already put in my request for Simone when she decides to leave her job. You have somewhere to land until you're off to the next one.
You go.
I will take you as long as you're willing to give it.
Right. No, but 2026 will be wonderful.
Yeah. No, there's always better times ahead. There is. It's just prioritizing. That's what 2026 is for me. Prioritizing what's important.
Right.
Not getting fed into all these things. Family, and that's what's important.
I want more hoarder houses. I want to look into hoarder houses.
You wish, so you shall receive.
Exactly.
Watch.
Yeah,
big
be more specific, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
With $1 million items.
Big collections of beautiful things that are.
I will take another Bill Kazar hoard. In
I'd take any
2026.
kind of hoard. Listen, you think that some of the things we've seen in the course of the last 5 years. I mean, there's big hoards out there, and they're all coming to market because someone's always dying. I mean, that's really the
or
deal.
downsizing, or
yeah. No, but I can't talk about the one hoard that we saw, but because we had to sign off papers. But God, talk about like a Jay Leno situation. What a beautiful place that was.
Yep.
But I just love to go look at things too, and we sold some of that. We didn't sell everything because we didn't. That's a whole nother story. But what we did sell was fantastic out of that place.
But a really great story that we cannot talk about because we all signed NDAs.
When do they expire?
Probably never. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't know how that would play out.
When they're gone and the attorneys are gone. many years
that
ago.
was mostly because of where it was located. They were afraid it was going to get robbed.
And what was in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I
understand it.
I think that's a good question. I could always ask her. Because
you could email the attorney.
I could email the attorney
Hey,
because I would love to talk about that.
When can I blab about this?
Yeah, when can I blab about this? Because man, oh man, the thing I saw there was like, wow. That was a
great.
beautiful.
You haven't even told me, people.
We can't.
No, that's the thing. I'm stressing like they're sticking to their guns.
Yeah, no.
And it's still not off the table.
No, it's not off the table. That's how I still have hope for that. For what's left, yeah. I still have hope.
Well, I have hope that you guys come across a 1959 Cadillac ambulance that I can afford, that I can then turn into a Ghostbusters car.
Speaking of, there is a Ghostbuster replica. Where?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Ecto one that's for sale in your lot of cars that you're cataloging right now.
There is an Ecto one in the sale, but no, there's a real Ecto one for sale out in. It's in I believe in Julian's auction. That is, but it's not in America. It's Julian's over in England. I just previewed their sale, and it's only at $1,800 with no reserve. But you'd have to.
That's because you have to get it over here.
You got to get it over here, though. But
and that's going to cost.
I think it's probably going to bring $10,000.
That's future Christian's problem.
They said though. I was reading the thing. I thought of you when I was looking at this. But it's drivable because it wasn't used in the movie, but it's an absolute replica of what was used in the movie, and they used it for parades and things of that nature. So I thought, you know what they had there though? What I found so great. They had the Batmobile from Six Flags Great Adventure, from when they used to have the show there at Six Flags Great Adventure.
Used to chill there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's in the UK?
Yes, it's in the UK right now. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I was reading it, and it said it was used at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey, in the show, and it has it was used in the stunt show where it drives off by itself, and it shows that there's a seat behind the seat where who's driving it behind. It was fucking cool. I was like, this is great.
But the thing is someone paid to get that thing from here
to there already. Yeah.
To England.
And now I'm thinking about, I was like, I want to buy it and bring it back. But I was like, how do I deal with that with tariffs and everything else? It's probably, can you imagine what it would be coming back in? I can't even, and not even that, just to transport. I bet you the transport isn't that bad. You can put it in a shipping container, ship it over, it costs you maybe $15,000. That's what I think, $15,000. It sounds like, it's not that bad. But think about it. It's probably not as bad as you think, but it's up there.
I mean, that's what we're doing with my dad's record collection, putting it in a shipping container, and it's going down to Jamaica. So
right.
Figuring that out has been just a fucking...
But I tell you, going there shouldn't be as bad as coming into the States, because coming into the States, I know. Well,
so I'm moving to England.
You know what's crazy though? Pre-pandemic, a shipping container was only $5,000 to come across from China. And now it's $25,000. Everything quadrupled. This is before tariffs. I'm talking about just in 2 years after COVID, after they had all that bottleneck and everything else. Remember, Ralphie told me it went from $5,000 to $25,000 per container. And
you
some
press
stuff.
Another button, Maureen.
And
I can't help it.
And what's even crazier is that when the tariff problem happened, he had orders. You got to remember, this gentleman was shipping. He had a big business. He used to get 3 to 5 containers a day, but not anymore. But he's still containering stuff in. He told me that there was a shipment out there that when it left port, it was like 35,000, and then when it came in, it was 155,000 because of the tariff they put on it, and they had to abandon it. They couldn't take it in. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that kind of a jump? That's nuts.
That is nuts.
That's insane.
The whole thing's nuts.
Yeah, the whole thing's nuts. Well, it's been an hour.
It's been an hour and it's been a year.
It's been an hour and a year.
And a year.
My goodness. Wow. Happy New Year.
I know.
Wow. It's
a happy New Year it
stuck
shall
with
be.
Me for over a year.
Yeah, you've been around for a year, sir.
You guys have seen me cry. You really are stuck with me.
That's it. That's it.
Well, Happy New Year. Actually, before we start that, if you have something in your hoard.
Yeah, you have a hoard, you have a collection, you have a story, you have, I don't know, something you want us to read, email us at Bodnars at banterpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Follow us, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere
All
you
the
get your podcast, all the places, Instagram,
Exactly.
Facebook.
I'm grateful for you, and thank you for joining us. I'm grateful for you. Happy New Year. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm grateful for you, sir. You're a wonderful man. Thanks for being here all year.
Why did that just make me? That shook me up for some reason.
Well,
Thank you, Joe.
Good. And,
Hit him in the field.
and this cat here,
I'm
I
not
don't know.
grateful for the
We're
cat.
getting you a dog
Yeah.
friend in
getting a dog.
2026. At any rate,
You're getting a dog.
wonderful. Have a wonderful day.
Yep. Have a great New Year.
We'll see you in 2026. Thanks for watching Bodnars, Bid, and Banter. Remember, we're here every other week with new episodes, new stories, and wonderful, wonderful times. Make sure you check us out, bodnarsauction.com, YouTube, Facebook, all the different platforms where you watch this podcast or listen to this podcast now. Now, once again, thanks, and have a wonderful day.